my country, and I know people don't want to hear it, I understand it. You'd rather believe that my country is coming back than to see that it's not coming back. And the unfortunate thing about not seeing that it's not coming back, you're missing out on it. The devil, evil, is busy than ever in my country. Watch this from ILFOP.org. ILFOP.org. Many years ago, Paul Harvey broadcast a message to his listeners, and in his broadcast, he revealed where the nation was headed and what he would do if he were the devil. Watch this.
If I were the devil, if I were the prince of darkness, I'd want to engulf the whole world in darkness. I'd subvert the churches first. I'd begin with a campaign of whispers. With the wisdom of a serpent, I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve, do as you please. I would convince them that man created God instead of the other way around. I would confide that what's bad is good and what's good is square. I'd sell alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction. I'd tranquilize the rest with pills. If I were the devil, I'd soon have families at war with themselves, churches at war with themselves, and nations at war with themselves, until each in its turn was consumed. And with promises of higher ratings, I'd have mesmerizing media fanning the flames. If I were the devil, I would encourage schools to refine young intellects, but neglect to discipline emotions, just let those run wild. Soon I could evict God from the courthouse, then from the schoolhouse, and then from the houses of Congress. If I were the devil, I'd take from those who have and give to those who wanted until I had killed the incentive of the ambitious. I would caution against extremes in hard work, in patriotism, in moral conduct. In other words, if I were the devil, I'd just keep right on doing what he's doing.
Amazing. That is too deep. That is so deep, I don't know what to say about it. I just don't know what to say about it. It's amazing. 65, Paul Harvey, not Steve Harvey. What the? It was a Harvey, but it was Paul Harvey, not Steve. It was talking about exactly what has gone out of control in our country. Satan has to deceive the world. In my country, Christian country. And you know what? It's only going to get worse. I heard a report during the hate news there, not the fake news, where hate was saying that some city, I think Boston somewhere, they're allowing the inmates in prisons and jails or whatever to make free phone calls now. They used to have to do a collect call, and those calls were so expensive, a lot of people didn't take them. And so according to the hate report, 5 states let them do it free now, and Massachusetts is one of them. And I'm thinking, in our country today, the so-called lawmakers and the ones who are supposed to uphold the law, enforce them, are going out of their way to accommodate the criminals. Why are they doing this? Why are they locking down the innocent and going out of their way to assist the criminals? Do you ever question that? Why are they doing it this way? They want you scared. They want you confused. They want you angry. They want you fighting one another. They want as much conflict as they can possibly create. And why? To control you. To create a socialist, communist society right here in America, and it's happening. That's why they're not doing one thing to make it better in our country. Illegal aliens every day from everywhere. Drugs coming with them, crime, all kind of mess, right? They don't care. They can care less. Jobs. They prevent you from drilling oil now. They don't want you working. They want you upset. They send all our money to other countries and not to America at all. And don't think that the Republican Party, the representatives of the Republican Party, are any better. They spend a lifetime on dumb Joe Biden's son and doing nothing about the real stuff that affects us. And they're so proud of that. And they come to they hold news reports, the Republicans, and give you an impression that they're caring, they're fighting for you, and they're not. They're not. We have a one-party system. And if you happen to be different than them, they don't want you around. They get rid of you. Isn't that amazing? Just like the children of the lie. They don't, if you're not like them, they get rid of you. Amazing. But some people are waking up. With all this hell going on in my country, some people waking up that probably would not have seen the light had not have been for so much darkness in my country, in America. Some people waking up. Fox is reporting that a guy by the name of Mark Fisher, co-founder of Black Lives Matter, Rhode Island, threw his support behind the Great White Hope. They're not saying Great White Hope. I'm saying Great White Hope, but they say Donald Trump. In 2024 race for the White House. The Great White Hope. Watch this from X.
You, a BLM leader, and you're now endorsing Donald Trump, saying he's the best candidate we have. Why do you think he is the best candidate
Because
that we have?
he is.
Because everybody else sucks. I like Trump, personally. And I think right now who we have sitting in the Oval Office is just a deep disappointment. And I really dislike the vice president as well.
Do you feel alone in this viewpoint in the world that you're in, being in the BLM movement?
No. I feel like the tide is starting to turn. I feel like a lot of black people are starting to pivot off of that Democratic plantation for so long. We've been slaves to that party. Actually, we've been mental slaves, afraid to get off of that plantation because, we've been used and abused for so long. And I believe it's a racist party that strikes at the heart of the black family and the nuclear family in general. And I believe Donald Trump he's the opposite. He's going to tell you how it is. He's going to give it to you straight. He's not going to, be a hypocrite and stab you in the back like the Democratic Party loves to do.
Amazing. And the last thing that the Democrats want is for the blacks to leave that plantation. They don't want that. If you attempt to leave that plantation, you try to run, they're going to send that underground black woman after you. You know that black woman that the blacks are always talking about? I forgot her name. She was some kind of underground person. They said she helped some of the black slaves leave the plantation. Harriet Tubman or something like that. If you try to leave the plantation of the Democratic Party, they're going to send Harriet Tubman at you, after you. Harry, go get him. And Harry will come and turn running. Here's another example of support for the Great White Hope, Donald Trump. Watch this from TikTok.
The media played me real good. They played me like a fiddle. I used to watch a lot of TV, the news. I hated Trump, and I didn't even know why. And it wasn't until March 2020 that I was like, uh-oh, I think I need some answers. Who's the good guy? Because I could see who the bad guys were, and they were pushing a lot of fear.
Yeah.
Like, they're just trying to tell me what to do. They're trying to trick me. They're trying to get me used to a way of life that is not good for me and is good for them. And I listened to him, and he wasn't saying anything incorrect. He was like a businessman saying, this is where we're at, this is what we're going to do. They're just like, Trump said this, and Trump did that, and Trump doesn't like you, and if you like Trump, then you're not cool, and nobody likes you. So I saw the game being played on me, And I was like, oh, I think he's a good guy. I think he's in there for a reason. Now I understand why he was president. And he says a lot of interesting things. He'll say things like, you guys have too many middlemen in your way. I'm here to return power to you. And then I was like, something is happening.
Amazing. That's deep. A woman who started to think for herself and to question for herself. And the light came on. Isn't that amazing? And that's what happens when you, it doesn't matter your color, male or female, rich or poor, where you live or don't live, when you start to question things within yourself, the light will come on and you should know the truth. Not your truth, but the truth. You don't have truth. Good for her. Right on, right on, right on. That's the way to do it. That was deep. She looked at it. She questioned it. And it sounded like the Black Lives Matter guy did too, Mark Fisher. Every time you look within for the answer, you will find it. You will find it, folks, about anything. You are as smart or smarter, especially if you live from within, you are as smart or smarter than the intellectual. We had an interesting discussion yesterday during the fellowship about the intellect. Because I noticed that even with what we talk about, forgiveness and forgiving your mama and the devil in you and all that, the devil repeats that to you in your intellect. And if you're not aware, you think it's the voice of God or something that you know, and you're just huff and puff on that and go no further. And then you just kind of break everything down to end up to Jesus. And it's all intellectual. It's not wisdom. So you have to be really careful, keep an eye on the intellect about all things, because it'll take everything and use it as though it's from God. And then you don't get any wisdom, it'll break down what you already learned intellectually. It'll break it down for you. And you think that's from God. It's crazy out in here, but it's so deep if you pay attention and know that all thoughts are all lies all the time. And so when the devil is telling you that, he's lying to you. It's just intellectual knowledge. It does nothing for you. Except it makes you feel good because people think you're smart or something. They're looking at you while you're speaking. You get all puffed up. And that's all you ever say. It's the devil. It's the devil. Okay, you said the devil 1,000 times. Move on. So don't hold on to knowledge and don't hold on to wisdom. Never let your right hand know what your left hand is doing or your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Don't hold on to anything. Can you imagine living a life without holding on to anything or anyone or anything or anyone at any time? What would your life be if you lived that way? What would it be if nothing became unimportant to you? If everything became unimportant to you and nothing became important? Have you ever thought about living that way? Is it scary to even think about it? Because when you think about it, it's like, well, what will I have? What will I hold on to? You say, nothing. Zero. There's nothing or anyone that important, not even your own children, not even your husband, your wife, your car, your nothing. Your mind. The mind is a terrible thing to save. What a mess. So good for her. The Washington Post is reported that multiple polls in recent weeks have shown Trump performing historically well among blacks and Hispanic voters. Watch this from Citizen Free Press. Nice. Yay.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
I do too. Man, that's my first time seeing that. Beautiful. And all Trump is doing is being Trump. Giving you back, or pointing you back to freedom. What a sad way to live. You don't have to wake up, but I want to encourage you to wake up. Wake up. No more sleeping. Wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in bed. It's time to wake up. If not now, when? Though I don't trust the polls, that's for sure. They are all crazy too now. You can't trust them. But the great white hope is the way to go. Think about how things were when he was in the White House and what happened after he left and the way they are now. You can see it for yourself. The only way you won't see it, you don't want to see it. Or you're seeing it and you pretend that it doesn't exist. The streets are a mess. And it's only getting worse. It is getting worse. They have made dogs so important that the dog now costs a whole bunch of money, and the criminals know it, and they're stealing the dogs.
What the?
Like, who let the dogs out, right? This is insane, folks. Hassan, would you ever cry if your dog died?
I don't want to live in the future. I don't want to see that day. I don't know what will happen.
Well, are you about to cry thinking about it?
Just the mere thought.
I don't want to be left alone. I've tried all my time, catching my breath. Watch this, folks. This is from the Daily Mail. 4 mass thieves ransacked a California pet store and tossed a dozen French bulldogs worth, get this, more than a house, at least a down payment on a house. These dogs were worth $100,000, and these people tossed them into their van. Watch this from KTLA.
Puppies barking.
$100,000 for a dog. What they do? Make breakfast?
Exactly. Look,
They got to be making breakfast. Look at Sandy.
He's mortified by that video.
He's like, what the? Can you imagine that? $100,000 for a dog. And the dog don't cook. The dog don't clean. The dog don't wash dishes. The dog don't iron. The dog don't sew. The dog does nothing but mess up the house, if anything. And it's $100,000. That's mind-blowing. What is this old world? How much? Well, maybe I shouldn't ask. Is Sandy a French bulldog?
Yes, sir.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Well, I better not ask the value.
Yeah, he was gifted to me, so.
But he is worth money right now?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Look
Why
at
don't you
that.
sell him and buy a car?
Look at that. That's a house right there.
Why don't you sell him and buy a house?
I know.
If he that much money, go get you $100,000, put that on a house.
I'd rather be homeless for Sandy.
What a mess. And you think that's bad out there on the streets. CWB out of Chicago. It's 4:25 a.m. as a woman rolled her luggage through one of the busiest intersections in Chicago. Watch this what happened from CWB out of Chicago. So she's doing the normal thing. She's traveling. She's walking across the road with her luggage on her way to the airport, wherever she's going, the bus stop or wherever, minding her business, minding her own business. Look at these guys pull up to her. Rob her with one suitcase. And they black. Black excellent at work. This is black excellent. Wow. That's all it took. Where are the police? Where is the cop? They're nowhere around. They defunded the police. And this innocent person, all they're doing is, wherever they're coming from, they packed their bags that morning or that night. They got up the next morning, walking toward the bus or wherever they're going, and some black people robbed them for a few dollars, just for a few bucks. That's black excellence at work. That is affirmative action. That is reparation. That is why the blacks, not all, but most are put here on earth to totally destroy. Remember that black guy lowered something over the military? The military weaker than ever. This young lady walking across the road, black people rob her. And then black people wonder why nobody want to be bothered with them. Everybody hate them. What a sad way to live. A person ain't safe in America no more. They stealing dogs. I can't believe a dog costs $100,000. Who would pay $100,000 for a dog? Something wrong with that person. And while all this is going on, the government is taking care of the most important issues. They are really helping. They are really solving the problem. AP is reporting. Okay, so you saw the robbery of the young lady crossing the road. You saw the robbery of dogs that is valued to be, according to the report, $100,000. You got to be out of your mind. But you saw a robbery, right? Guess what they're doing in Philadelphia to solve the problems? In Philly, where crime is through the roof. And guess how they're dealing with the issue? They're so busy. They're so smart in Philly. They're really making it better. AP is reporting Philadelphia City Council passes legislation to ban ski masks in some public spaces. Watch this compilation.
A new law makes wearing a ski mask in parks, schools, and on public transit punishable by a $250 fine.
This 19-year-old says ski masks are worn in Philadelphia for style and warmth. He says he wears one and won't stop.
Just because somebody carried out an act in this particular item doesn't make the item bad. The person chose to do that.
City Council proposed banning them in certain public spaces. Thursday was the final vote. The bill's sponsor says most crimes in the city are committed by suspects wearing ski masks, while opponents argue the bill targets the young.
This proposal feels more like an attempt to further criminalize young people of color than it does to actually get at safety concern.
You criminalizing the blacks. So they'd rather ban ski masks rather than bring back cops and take away and make these people pay bail bonds. They feel so good they banned the ski mask. Now, how are the blacks going to keep warm in Philly? And you know black people don't like cold weather. They don't bring back the cops. They don't bring back tough cops. They don't enforce the law. They create new law. Oh, you know what? The best way to solve the crimes in Philadelphia, let's ban the mask. Let's ban guns. Let's do everything but the right thing. That bring back cops. And you vote for these people. You just heard all the bad news, right? Once in a while, we like to give you good news. This poem is for Owen Shroyer, our friend, your friend, America's friend, a son of God. Watch this.
If, by Rudyard Kipling. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good, nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools, if you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss, if you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but are none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it. And, which is more, you'll be a man, my son.
Amazing. Congratulations, Owen. Welcome home. It's amazing. The New Testament of the Bible is so deep, I can't even find words to express how deep it is. It's the New Testament. And when you start working on you and pay attention to what's happening inside of you, then those things will happen for you. You become an if person. What do you think Donald Trump is all about? What do you think men like Owen is about? You have no other choice. How long can you be weak when the devil is busy? And it's these type of men that made America great in the beginning, and we got to bring that back. Should men play video games? When we were growing up, and I used that, and I just talked to Hassan, and he didn't get into the video games either, because when he was growing up, he would rather be outside. And that's how it was when I was growing up. We would rather either be outside playing or doing something else, hunting or fishing or something, right? But according to Wikipedia, it's statista. As of March 2023, 51% of U.S. video gamers' audience were males. Man, y'all need to return to the Father. Come back home. The world needs you. The average age of a U.S. gamer is 35, and the average number of years a U.S. gamer has been playing is 13 years. Can you imagine spending 13 years of your life playing games? That's like being on drugs, I guess, 13 years. Some people spend longer than that on drugs. Everybody them mama on drugs, except baby Jessica's daddy. So I guess everybody them mama playing games. except baby Jessica's daddy. There's a game called Grand Theft Auto 6. And so I asked, what is that? Sean, my producer, he's like, that's the new game coming out. And it's just number 6 of the game, I guess, of generation of gamers that they already had. Games they already had. Wikipedia and the Daily Mail. Grand Theft Auto, a series of action-adventure games, has grown to become a blockbusting behemoth enjoyed by millions and defining a generation of gamers. Critics have accused the series of glorifying violence and encouraging players to engage in criminal behavior. Watch this compilation.
As with earlier versions of the game, it is extremely violent.
I'm here for Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah. Grand Theft Auto 5 allows video game players to assume the role of gangsters, committing almost any crime imaginable. Bank robberies, car thefts, often murder.
When you're all these characters who are just insane criminals who rob banks and steal cars, it's just like a fun experience and it gives you a rush.
I want them to know that I don't like it, but I guess I do let them play because all their friends are playing.
But critics have complained about the violence.
We're seeing cases of kids emulating these games because the games are so realistic. They want the sensation of the real experience in real life.
The young man stole a car and went on a spree straight out of Grand Theft Auto.
Zachary had stated to officers he had been playing the video game Grand Theft Auto and wanted to see if it was as fun in real life.
Last year in Albuquerque, an 11-year-old boy, allegedly inspired by Grand Theft Auto, stole his family's car. He could barely see over the wheel.
It's a product that's so dangerous that it should have never been on the shelf in the very first place.
You can't blame the game. You blame the one that buy the game. So I blame the parent for buying the game.
Right on. That's the only one made sense in that whole segment. It's not the game. It's the parents who buy the games, and it's the adults who play the games. And it's interesting is how everything is blamed on the outer source rather than the inner source. But it's just another drug called game. It's no different. It's no different than being addicted to medication. There are people who are addicted to medication and they blame the doctor. Yes, the doctor will give you the medication until the cows come home, but they don't make you show up at the office or at the drugstore and get it. They don't make you order to have it delivered to your home. When will you take responsibility? Become an individual. And you can always tell weak people, they're always blaming someone else for what their actions or what they think or feel because they're weak. But it's just another drug I see now. CNN, a trailer for Grand Theft Auto 6, the next installment of the widely popular and violent game franchise, has been released. Watch this from Rockstar Games. This is like look like the real thing. And these are like real incidents that happened. Some of y'all might remember some of these stories. For those that are not watching, you're listening, they're showing real incidents. Spring break, a woman with 2 hammers, remember that? A tattoo man. Amazing. Low key looks fire, LL. What a mess. It's all about the money. And this is how the world treat one another. The people making the games, you can't blame them. They're making money. You're buying the games. You can't blame them for that. They didn't make you give them the money for the game that addicted you for 13 years. And now they're making them real, they're using real incidents, real happening to create this game. It's going to addict a lot of people to it. The Daily Mail is reporting that. And those were real incidents. And some of them we reported on in this show. So let's see here. In Daily Mail, the game appears to feature cameos from some infamous real-life characters. A woman banishing 2 hammers, and a Florida man dubbed the Joker for his facial tattoos. Watch this compilation.
Can you imagine finding this in your backyard? The trapper came out, and it took him about 20 minutes to remove the reptile.
And I got you on video that you're destroying my car. Out of the snake.
Oh, this is Mr. Sullivan?
I remember that.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Sullivan. You charge 1 count of carrying. You don't have a lawyer.
I didn't even feel like signing the paperwork. I'm really not in the mood for that.
You guys running naked. Holy. Oh my God.
Gunfire erupted Friday night. Outside, restaurants packed with customers on busy Ocean Drive.
Or you face a fine up to $1,000 and a misdemeanor charge. It gets upgraded to a felony if convicted again within 2 years.
As shown in videos all over YouTube. New York, Miami, New Orleans, Boston, where these guys flee when cops swarm in, abandoning their dirt bikes right on the highway.
Amazing. I remember reporting on some of these things. That is crazy. But they're doing whatever it takes to addict you so they can make the money and you have the problem. When will you take control of your own life? I remember once the anchor baby helped me play the game. It was fun. But as soon as I stopped playing, I didn't have this great urge to run back into it, right? Here's a clip from when I played the game. JLP plays. This is from JLP plays. Watch this.
We're going to play a highly requested game today. They want you to play Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto.
Right.
Ooh, I'm glad. That's good.
Pick a car. Which one do you want? Here, I'll move the camera. You want the white one or the red one?
The red one.
Oh, nice.
You know black gonna pick red. Oh, hold it. What?
You don't want to crash into anything.
Right. I shouldn't mind.
Huh?
I shouldn't mind. Get out of the way.
You're doing good. Oh, shit.
Sorry.
Take a left.
That's funny. Seeing Dock of the Bay. Amazing. So it's easy if you're not in control of your life, if you're not aware of what's happening inside of you, it's easy to become addicted to anything outside of you. Get ready, auto theft 6, people. You're going to be sitting in front of the TV for another 13 years as the world go by. As the world goes round. And to the flat earthers, as the world go up and down. Amazing. Here is some works of the devil. According to Rasmussen report, in 2011, 42.2 million Americans, 1 in 7, were on food stamps. In 2011, 44.2 million Americans, 1 in 7 were on food stamps. Watch this from TikTok.
Are you guys ready to learn?
Yeah.
Okay. So you made all this money, right?
Yes.
Okay. Move your hands. Okay, so you made all this money, and now the government comes in and they leave you with only that much out of that much. Listen! But you worked really hard for all that money, huh? Okay, so your sister, she doesn't want to work, so she's going to get that much money to do nothing. And then the rest of this will just go to nothing but the Chinese.
Hey, she took my money. It's her money because she got some of what you worked for because she didn't want to work.
That's just like... I know, it's sad.
See, even a child know that that's wrong. You got to earn it. But the devil, the government is the devil, at least a portion of the government. The people are too until you're born of the Father. God loved all human beings, and he still does. He sent his only begotten Son because of that. And who are you? Just think about that. Who are you with all the hell in you and nothing but hell to think that you have the right or that you can be right and not love all? You are blind and cannot see. The Old Testament is alive and well upon this earth and now in my country, America. And in all honesty, the Old Testament is alive and well in the Christian churches, and I don't know if the Christians have a community, but amongst the Christians, it's the Old Testament that's in operation. It's not the New at all. Because if it was the New Testament, you would have nothing but love for all and no judgment of yourself or anyone else. But you still judge yourself and you judge others. And then you make up excuses why you do it. You're of the Old Testament. You have not been born again of the Father. You have not been born again of the Father. I don't care how many Bibles you read. I don't care how many old Bibles you interpret or whatever y'all do to put all that together and think you got it. If you don't love all, you love none. And if you don't love all, you're not a representation of the truth, of God. God is the truth. In the beginning, there was the Word was God, God was with the Word, and the Word is still God. Not the Son, but the Father. Now, the Word was in the Son, and the Father and the Son are one. When you're born of the Father, you are, dummies, one with the Father, but you're not the Father, you're still the Son. And you haven't seen the hell that is going to come upon this earth if this continues. Here's another example and proof that the world is the Old Testament, the country, my country is the Old Testament, and nothing coming in but hell. And a few love, real love, God's love, but most don't. You are allowed and given permission and agreeing with female leadership. You're bringing damnation upon yourself. Because through the woman, until she's born again of the Father, the gates of hell come through. And if you have not returned to the Father, then the gates of hell will prevail against you. Men being afraid of women. And I've never seen it so bad in my whole days, born days. But they're afraid of the gates of hell. And they don't see, so they don't understand what they're dealing with. God forbid Nikki Haley should even look like this country is over. It's not in her, it's not in the women to lead. It's in the man. Why do you think you're afraid of your own mama? The gates of hell. Satan is the woman's God, whether you like it, accept it, or believe it or not. Why do you think women bring so much hell into their surrounding? And it is spread like wildfire. Here's an example of the gates of hell from TikTok. A man's mother disowns him after building a relationship with his father. Watch this from TikTok.
With your son?
I don't want to deal with you.
Your son?
I don't want to deal with you. If you want to talk to him, that's cool.
Mama,
but don't talk to me no more.
Mama, years ago.
I don't want to deal with you.
A nasty attitude
You don't
woman.
have to deal with him, but you don't have to. You don't want to deal with me, your own son.
No. And you look just like him. You act like him. Ugh.
See that?
Matter of fact, you really need to get out of my kitchen because I'm not ready to.
Mama.
I'm sick of it.
Mama, you want to disown your own son.
You want a relationship with your daddy?
Of course, it's my father.
Then I want to disown.
And you telling me I look just like
you. Yeah.
Mama, it's because of you. You the one that
I
did
can't
it.
believe I even lay with that man.
You the one that did it.
Ugh.
You the one that did it.
Yep. You know, wash all that off anyway.
Mama.
What?
25 years ago.
Okay.
And you don't want me to have a relationship with my father.
No, I don't. So we can stop talking about this now. You bring this up every other day.
I haven't seen my daddy in 20 years, and now I want to have a relationship with him. And you got such a big problem with me knowing my father.
Why do you want to know him so bad?
Again, I didn't see him in 20 years. I want to have that child and father bond.
That's every woman on this side of heaven. That's the woman of the world, and that's the gates of hell until she returns to the Father. Women must forgive their mothers too and return to their fathers. Forgive their fathers for not protecting them from the mothers. Otherwise, you're just going to do to your children what was done to you because that's your nature. That's all that's in you. And women, not them, but the spirit that's in them, hate the spirit of the man because the spirit of the man is the spirit of God. And the spirit of the woman is the spirit of Satan. And that spirit hates the Son of God. And it worked through the woman to destroy the Son. The blacks, they got it bad because the spirit of the mother has turned them away from their fathers. And they worship the mama's spirit. They buy her house. The first thing they do when they get an extra $1, they buy mama a house. Mama set up at the football game on the front row and cheer as though that's her husband out there playing ball. And she gets all the glory. Blacks to the blacks and the whites and the Jews and the Gentiles and the Allah people, the Palestine, whatever y'all call you, Muslims, the so-called black Israelite, y'all ain't gonna get better until you return to the Father. Everything else is a lie. It's a lie. And you're living in your intellect. It's no different than the men and women of the Christians who believe Jesus is God and the deity, and it's just words, it just sound good. But it does nothing for them. Zero. You must be born again. You need a new heart and a new nature, which is of your Father God. That woman hates the father, and the man is yearning for his father. The girl is yearning for her father. But the mother don't want that to happen. It's not the mother, but it's the spirit of her. Women who keep children from their fathers are evil. Pure evil. Plain old evil. Ain't nothing else but that. They are the gates of hell. UnderstandingRelationship.com. Women are emotional beings, not logical ones. Watch this from TikTok.
From the nation to the sea, Palestine will be free.
From the nation to the sea?
No, from the mountains to the sea.
From the mountains to the sea?
That's what we want.
From the mountains to the sea? Yeah. Which mountains? You don't know, eh?
See? Insane. That's the gates of hell. An example of it. They have women doing weather reports. They used to have men doing the weather reports on the news. It's mostly women now. The gates of hell. You're going to live to regret, if you're not already regretting it, that you've allowed women to take over America. I venture to say 99.9% of the people who are out there protesting have no clue, if not 100, but definitely 99. They have no clue why they're fighting one another. Zero clue. They have listened to the gates of hell. The Old Testament is on this earth still. The New Testament is inside of you and above. The kingdom of heaven is at hand, is right here, is right now. I give you a new kingdom. Be done with the old kingdom. It was hell. I couldn't even find 10 people who were of the Father. Oh, did they find one hate?
When what?
Of the Old Testament, did they find one righteous person?
Oh. Sometimes they would find one righteous man among 1,000.
But not
one woman among them all.
Think about that. They found one righteous man among 1,000, but not one righteous woman. Think about that. And you pushing women as though they're righteous. You're letting them be preachers. You're letting them be deacons. You allow them to perform weddings. You allow them to be the head of the family. Y'all better look at the blacks and see what happened to them. That's exactly what happened to them. Nothing else. That's what happened to them. And their hearts are wicked. Except for those who have examined themselves and questioned, and they're overcoming. That stupid female just about from the mountain to the sea. And the man like, what? What mountain? And she was lost. Another dangerous thing happened in my country as a result of the gates of hell that coming through the woman. Fox is reporting, White House interns write pro-Palestine objection letter. The intern who working for the government, the people there, they're so-called politicians. They're like, we don't like this. Watch this from Fox.
Anyway, meanwhile, a new report says the White House interns, are now rebelling against the administration in a letter demanding a ceasefire in Israel.
We now know that many of our young people believe in diversity, equity, inclusion, and the right to kill Jews. And they don't see the inconsistency in that. They don't see the irony in that. I agree with you. If I were President Biden, I would call all of my interns in and tell them, I'm sorry they're upset. They should go buy an emotional support pony. It's okay to disagree with your boss, but I can't imagine working for an employer, writing him a formal letter, leaking it to NBC, and then daring the employer to do something about it. And probably the White House will do nothing about it, just like they have done very little to deter our enemies throughout the world.
Amazing. My country is no longer tears of thee. The inmates are truly running the insane asylum. There was this, and that the gates of hell come through the woman. There was this potential terror plot or something in Las Vegas. CBS is reporting Las Vegas police and the FBI thwarted a potential terrorist plot involving a 16-year-old. Police said on Friday. Watch this from CBS.
Yeah, on Wednesday, police arrested a 16-year-old in the Las Vegas Valley for making threats online, and Metro and the FBI working together on this investigation. Now, in these threats, the 16-year-old reportedly stated that they would start lone wolf operations in Las Vegas against the enemies of Allah, and that they are a supporter of the Islamic State. Metro's SWAT team served a search warrant at the suspect's parents' house, in which they found several items of concern. That's including terrorism propaganda, components of building an explosive device, and bomb making. Now, because the suspect is underage, they were not named, but they are facing a list of charges. And we do know that the 16-year-old was a local high schooler in the Las Vegas Valley.
Amazing, huh? Allahu Akbar in my country. A 16-year-old. Doesn't sound like news you usually get and hear about from overseas somewhere. It's on our land now. And our government allowed it to happen, and they don't care. I mentioned that the gates of hell come through the woman until she wake up. But just this Allah plot, according to the report, that's going to get worse. The earth is the Old Testament. The New Testament is inside of you. But that's going to get worse. It's not going to get better. What the? There's some women waking up of all races, too. And some of them are waking up more than the men are of all races. Watch this from TikTok.
Firstly, on Taoiseach's statement yesterday that it is not right to connect immigration with crime is ridiculous. Not all immigrants are created equal, and an immigration policy that does not recognise this will end in disaster and tragedy. We don't record crime statistics by ethnicity, because to do so would offend liberal sensibilities, but other European countries do. The Dutch do. They've done it for 10 years, and here's what they've found. Individuals from non-Western immigration background make up 14% of the population in the Netherlands. However, they commit 40% of all crime and violent assaults. Populations from Africa or the Middle East tend to exhibit rates of 2 to 4 times higher than those of native Dutch. And in both Germany and Spain, the suspect rate of Algerian immigrants for crimes is 10 times that of natives, and in Italy it is 17 times. And Ireland has the largest groups of Algerian asylum seekers in the world being admitted into the country. Asking us not to connect crime to immigration is asking us to ignore reality. They are factual and true.
Wow, ain't that deep? Some women are waking up, and they have the mindset of the man, which is the mindset of God. Here's what lying Joe Biden had to say. Lying Joe Biden had to say about immigration from the U.S. Department of State. Now, you heard that woman. Logical. Made sense, common sense logic, right? You heard her. Here's what lying Joe Biden remarked. This is from the U.S. Department of State. Joe Biden remarked at a luncheon on 2015. Watch this from C-SPAN.
I would argue it's unlike any other large country in the world. So there's a second thing in that black box. An unrelenting stream of immigration. Non-stop. Non-stop. Folks like me who were Caucasian of European descent, for the first time in 2017, will be in an absolute minority in the United States of America. Absolute minority. Fewer than 50% of the people in America, from then and on, will be white European stock.
And that's
not a bad thing.
That is.
That's a source of our strength. And so we have been, we haven't always gotten it right.
So he said that fewer white people and bringing all these people of color, paraphrasing, immigration and everything, that is a source of strength. White folks, y'all better get busy and make some babies. A whole truckload of white babies. Real fast, pop them out real fast, back to back. But white people in the Western world, which are the best parts of the world, right? They're coming in and you're letting them in. You're letting your own enemy. It's like you laid down your Second Amendment and open your doors wide open and say, come on in and destroy us. I surrender. They want white people to be the minority in their own country. And they say it out loud in many cases. And we have all the wrong people in the right places running our country, the Western world, in order to see to it that Christianity, white people are destroyed. They convince you not to have babies. You don't need white babies, they say. Abort them. And if you do have children, have 1, 2 at best, and you're foolish enough to fall for it. Our borders are wide way open, and they know all kinds of people coming in now from all over the world, China and everywhere. And we're starting to hear about terror threats now. And in one or two cases, according to reports, terror attempts. And you think they shut down the borders? No. They tell you that, oh, no problem at the border. And we're looking at lines and lines of people coming in. Fox has reported that migrant encounters at the southern borders hit the highest total for a single day ever recorded on Tuesday, marking yet another record broken. Watch this from Fox.
In the last 24 hours, Border Patrol alone has made more than 10,000 apprehensions of illegal immigrants from all over the world. A lot of African men, mostly single adult men here. Some of them were setting campfires overnight in the cold, camping out here, waiting to get taken into custody by Border Patrol.
I love you, Joe Biden. Thank you for everything, Joe Biden. I'm a good person. I want to be a good person here in the United States.
Now, Arizona has a Democrat governor. Her name is Katie Hobbs. Governor Hobbs is calling for more federal action.
We need the federal government to act and provide more resources, and we've been very clear about that. I know this is beating the drum that we've been beating for decades, but we need comprehensive immigration reform to really thoroughly address this issue.
CBP officers at the port of entry there stopping a car and finding over 1 million fentanyl pills hidden in that smuggler's vehicle. Thankfully, they were able to seize that. Of illegal immigrants pushing through a breach in the border wall that had been cut through by smugglers. This happened right in front of Border Patrol. All these people came spilling through the wall trying to take advantage of the situation. Then a human smuggler looks at our camera, gives us a shrug, and salutes us.
Wow. A human smuggler does that. And you got a stupid female Democrat representative up there supporting them. And they call it comprehensive immigration reform. Dress up evil with nice words. Do you know that I'm starting to realize all these words that these people use cover up evil? And they don't call it what it is, and so you don't go free. Because you use the same words that the devil, the children of the devil. Look at all those people coming in here. But they're sending money to Ukraine for their borders. They're sending money to the Allahu Akbar country. They're sending money to Israel. They're protecting and supporting everybody but America. And they're focused on Joe Biden's son. Joe Biden's son, I doubt, maybe. I doubt if he goes to jail. And if he does, they'll say, oh, Joe Biden's son indicted in California, I guess yesterday. If he does go to jail, and what good is that going to do to the border? How will that stop crime? How will that stop trying to get rid of Christianity? How will that stop trying to forcibly get rid of white people, especially white males? Because they're not afraid of the white woman. They know she's weak. How will that stop it? Why don't y'all, well, I started to, why don't y'all wake up? But I understand. And these illegals are coming over here. They're thanking Joe Biden. Thank you, Joe Biden. We love you, Joe. Joe Biden, you can't go. We're all from Mexico. Come on, man. We need handout, Joe Biden. You stay. And we love you. And these people are coming in, they're asking for handouts already. Watch this from X.
Can you help me take me to prison? I haven't eaten anything for 24 hours. 24 hours I haven't eaten anything. Could you help me?
I'm just a reporter. I can't help you. I'm very sorry.
Can I give you money and bring me some McDonald's? I'm so hungry, man. Please.
I'm sorry.
But illegal alien, my plea, I'm hungry. I'm going to McDonald's. Folks, it's we, the government, is not the government over us. we are the boss of the government. Well, you're not the boss anymore. You used to be. The illegal alien already begging. And they're going to get it, too. Ayanna Pressley lying to you, saying the border, there's no problem at the border. The border is secure. Watch this from CNN.
The border is secure, or it is not secure?
I believe that we are in the midst of a humanitarian crisis, and there needs to be federal investment. No doubt about it. Our border is secure.
Do you think that the border is secure? Is that what you said?
Yes, the border is secure.
I'm not disagreeing with anything you're saying, except for the idea that the border is secure. I mean, if you have people crossing the border, it's just by definition not secure. Millions of people make this very unsafe journey. Millions of people give money to people who prey on them, coyotes, and take them on these journeys to cross into the United States.
And
just
she
such
black.
A refusal to acknowledge reality, just to say that the border is secure when we all know millions of people are crossing the border illegally every year. But would you grant me the point that the border is not secure?
Jake, that is a conversation for another day.
Wow. You heard that black female so-called representative say that the border is secure, right? You heard it. Smiling faces tell lies. And I got proof. Beware of the pat on the back. It just might hold you back. Jealousy, envy. I got proof. They want to get rid of white people. They want to get rid of Christianity. They'd rather have indigent people. They'd rather have Allah Uapa over Christianity. Because Christianity is the best religion on this side of heaven. It's the only religion that tells you must be born again. It's the only religion that tells you that you're wrong. And if you want to be perfect peace on earth, you must be made right. You must drop your ego. You must be born again. This is from X. Van Jones in 2021. We want the white minority to go from being the majority. No, I'm sorry. We want the white majority to go from being a majority to being a minority. And like it. They want you to be the minority and like it. You're going to become the minority and you're going to love it. And I'm staying. Watch this from X.
Asking the white majority to do something is difficult. And I think it'd be easier if we just acknowledge that it's difficult. No ethnic majority group in 10,000 years of human history that I could find ever went from being a majority to being a minority and liked it. And that's basically the request from the racial justice left, is that we want the white majority to go from being a majority to being a minority and like it. That's a tough request.
That is.
And the reality is that change is hard.
Be.
Change that you want is hard. Change that is good is hard.
Think about that. This male is telling you what he wants. And he's going to like it. So why do they want the white people to become the minority? Why do they want that? He didn't say why. Why do they want white people to become the minority in their own country? They're not going to make it better. It was already amazing when they got here. Why do they want the minority and want you to like it? In your own country. This is not Africa. It's not China. It's not Russia. It's America. It's the Western world. Why do they want you to be the minority? Don't you ask that question? Well, why do you want that, man? Can a white man go on TV and say, we want the blacks to be the minority and like it. And be quiet and just like it. I know it's hard. A change is hard. But we want you to do it, and we want you to like it. We are the white world. This is our country. Can a white man say that and get away with it? This country was founded and created by white men with the help of God that made it possible for all the egghead people to be here. He could tell me it's because he is a liberal, that guy right there, Van Jones, and whites are conservative. Right. That's why the white countries are so beautiful and amazing. Because when you're a Christian conservative, goodness come out of you. Amazing talent come from you. And they hate that. Here's another example of a mama's love. Watch this.
My baby at? Why you come out here without my baby?
And why are you recording me? Your baby in the house.
Why you come out here without my baby?
Don't you got a girlfriend? Why don't y'all go make a baby?
What that got to do with my baby? Cause I got a girlfriend. What that got to do with my baby?
I don't want her around my kid.
But if you got a boyfriend, it's cool. So you can bring a boy, but I can't bring no girl around.
No.
So I'm paying $1,500 in child support, and I can't see my baby.
No.
See, don't have kids. Y'all don't have kids. $1,500 in child support.
And you weird.
$1,500 child support. I can't see my baby.
No.
$1,500.
In the house. You can see the baby, but not her.
$1,500 in child support.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about I got a girlfriend. I can't see my baby because I got a girlfriend. But
No,
you got a boyfriend.
Can't.
But
okay,
you got a boyfriend.
And so what?
Don't have kids, bro.
No, you don't have kids.
Y'all don't have kids.
You don't have kids.
Y'all don't want nobody like her. Don't have kids, bro.
Now do you believe me when I say the gates of hell come through the woman? How much more proof do you need? But you can overcome it, though. And you're not stuck, ladies. Forgive your mothers for doing this to you. And forgive your fathers for not protecting you from her. So you can overcome being the image of your mother and become the image of your father. That's how it works. You can forgive.